Hi everyone, welcome back. Right, so we're going to be going to rescue the Primarch. Now you can do the Eden Prime one now if you wanted to, but I prefer to wait until I've actually got Garrus for that. So I do this one first, and then I head to do either that one or another one. I'm not sure if Grissom Academy is first actually, but yeah, no, I usually do that after I've gotten Garrus. So we'll see. I've no idea why there's so much fuel here, but you know, you got 800 in that, and then the other one's like 750, I believe. Yep, okay, see. I mean, your entire ship can only hold 1,000, you know, it's... I'm not sure why they did that, but, you know, whatever.
I found something.
Ooh, during the Krogan rebellions, a warlord named Garrus took the fight to Palaven's home cluster, bombarding the modestly defended Grissom. When reinforcement came to intercept him, Dahl's navy put their rear into Darius so the stray shots would hit the planet. The Taurians won despite the severe handicaps, using countless fighters and cruisers to take down the Krogan dreadnoughts. Today the Taurian fleet holds Garrus in a stalemate. The Reapers, concentrating on Palaven and elsewhere, sent a relatively light force to take the planet, which the Taurians repelled. The Taurians stand guard at Garrus while the Reapers travel throughout the system, destroying targets of opportunity until reinforcements arrive. Okay, let's go to Palaven. Well, technically it's Moon Mane, or Mana, whatever it's called. Okay, I've also got the proper weapons.
Oh no. No. Palaven.
We have an old friend there.
Holy hell. They're getting decimated.
Strongest military in the galaxy, and the Reapers are obliterating it.
Was it like this on Earth?
Yes.
Shepard. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Commander, the LZ's getting swarmed.
James, open that hatch.
I love that power. Absolutely love it.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Get out. Let's move.
Anything else? Yeah.
Around the corner, past the first barricade.
Got it.
Hold your fire. Friendly inbound.
There's a few bits and bobs scattered about the place.
Reinforcements haven't arrived.
Knowledge of terrain is our only advantage here, and that's not going to last forever. If they keep throwing their forces at us, we'll hold this area as long as we can. I'm thinking my transponder to do the life signal monitoring system of the unit's suits. If this goes out, send another unit here ASAP.
Try them again.
Nothing, sir. Not even static.
Try them again.
So bits and bobs around, let's grab them all. They sent us winter gear, not sure what they thought we'd do with that kind of gear here, but I suppose we should thank the spirits nonetheless. The power sources can be cannibalized and converted to power our combat gear's filtering units instead, at least. It'll be nice not to have those clogged up anymore. Okay, let's go and talk to the general. This guy's in yet.
Domestic, get your men up on that north barricade.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Bartis, find a way to get that comm tower operational.
Sir.
General?
Commander Shepard, heard you were coming, but I didn't believe it. General Corinthus.
I've come to get Primarch Fedorian.
Primarch Fedorian is dead. His shuttle was shot down an hour ago as it tried to leave the moon.
That's gonna complicate things. How bad is it, General?
We just lost about 400 men in half an hour. We set up camps on this moon as an advanced position to flank the enemy. A sound strategy. Just...
Irrelevant.
exactly. The sheer force of the Reapers seems to make them immune to that sort of tactic. The Primarch and his men found that out the hard way.
I'm sorry. I hear he was a good man.
And a friend. He would have been an outstanding diplomat.
So what happens now?
The Turian hierarchy provides very clear lines of succession.
Right. General Corinthus?
With such heavy casualties, it's hard for me to be certain who the next Primarch is. Palaven Command will know. However, at the moment, contacting them is impossible. The comm tower is out. Husks are swarming that area. We can't get close enough to repair it.
Don't worry, General. I'll get your tower operational.
Thank you, Commander. I'll take care of things on this end.
All right, let's go.
I see the comm tower, to the left of the main barricade in front of Palaven.
Let's go!
Husks at the tower overwhelmed us.
I'm gonna say, dude, it's dead.
Good luck.
We can't repair it from this panel.
Liara,
See if you can repair it.
Yeah, James is
I'll go up and
terrible
have a
at
look.
anything
If you
technical,
can keep
so
Husks from climbing up behind me, I'd appreciate it.
I think Liara's the better choice.
Here they come.
Ready, James?
Hell yeah! Let's take them!
now operational.
Much appreciated, Commander. I'll contact Palaven Command.
Let me know when you've got something. I'll help your men till I hear from you.
Understood.
Shepard out.
Commander Shepard, come in.
Go ahead.
I have information from Palaven Command. Please return ASAP.
On our way. What have you got?
As your partner said, succession is usually simple. But right now, the hierarchy's in chaos.
How do you know
many
she's my
dead or
partner?
MIA.
I need someone. I don't care who. As long as they can get us the Turian resources we need.
I'm on it, Shepard.
Nah, Garrus.
Garrus.
Vicarian, sir. I didn't see you arrive.
At ease, General.
Good to see you again. I thought you'd be on Palaven.
If we lose this moon, we lose Palaven. I'm the closest damn thing we have to an expert on Reaper forces, so I'm advising.
James, this is Garrus Vicarian. He helped me stop the Collectors. He's a hell of a soldier.
Lieutenant, good to see you too, Liara.
Good to see you in one piece, Garrus.
General Corinthus filled me in. We know who we're after.
Palaven Command tells me that the next Primarch is General Adrian Victus.
Victus. His name's crossed my desk.
Know him, Garrus?
I was fighting alongside him this morning. Lifelong military, gets results, popular with his troops. Not so popular with military command. Has a reputation for playing loose with accepted strategy.
Well, that's kind of like a good thing at the minute. The Reapers, you know, pretty much can predict everything we do. You know, we need someone unpredictable, don't we?
During the uprisings, his squad discovered a Solarian spy ring about the same time the Turian separatists did. Rather than neutralize the ring, he fell back. He even gave up valuable fortifications which the rebels took.
Then the rebels attacked the Solarians, and when both groups had worn each other down, Victus moved back in. Didn't lose a man.
Bold strategy, but wild behavior doesn't get you advanced up the meritocracy.
Primarch Victus. That should be something to see.
Yeah, can I trust him?
You think he can get the job done?
We both know conventional strategy won't beat the Reapers. Right now, he could be our best shot. And I trust him.
Oh, if you trust him, I trust him.
Let's get him on the shuttle and get out of here.
Commander! Shepard, come in!
Can this wait, Joker? We're in the middle of a war zone.
We've got a situation on the Normandy, Commander. It's like she's possessed. Shutting down systems, powering up weapons. I can't find the source.
I need the Normandy standing by. We may have to bug out.
Should I go back and take a look?
Do it. Garrus, you said you were with Victus this morning?
Yeah, but we got separated. He went to bolster a flank that was breaking. Could be anywhere out there.
We're trying to raise him, Commander.
Incoming harvester, headed for the airfield.
General, tell Primarch Victus we'll rendezvous here. In the meantime, let's go take care of whatever that thing dropped off. Coming, Garrus?
Are you kidding? I'm right behind you.
Okay, first of all, let's level him up. I'll let him do the rest of them. There we go. Right, now where am I going? This way, isn't it? No, that way.
Jay, is that you breathing so hard?
Atmosphere's a little thinner than I'm used to, is all. Adrenaline's better than oxygen any day.
Nah. I think some people might disagree with that, but You know, use what you got, man.
Just me? Or do those Reapers look like Turians?
Right. They do.
I think we're done here.
Shepard, come in.
Go ahead.
Still trying to raise the Primarch, but we've got trouble back here at the main barricade. If the Reapers breach it, we're done.
On my way.
Just picking them off. Maybe I can do 3 at a time.
Okay, come on. Who's next?
Yeah, like fish in a barrel.
What?
Old humans say.
Heads up! Here
like
comes another
fish
wave!
in a barrel. Holy hell! What is that thing?
Brace yourself!
Kind of a pathetic fall there. Come on.
Shepard, Corinthus here.
What's the word on the Primarch?
Still can't get a stable comm link.
Okay, I'm going on foot. Shepard out. Garrus, take me to the last place you saw Victus. How far?
Should be pretty quick, unless we find trouble.
Yeah, we always find trouble though. Come on.
Took out a frigate. Man, how many people? Oh my god. Would you look at that?
Damn it. Look at Palaven. That blaze of orange. The big one. That's where I was born.
That's rough. Still have family there?
My dad. A sister.
How bad is it?
3 million lost the first day. 5 the second.
How's your military holding up?
Look around. That should give you some idea.
You're putting up a good fight.
For now. But how long does it take before the fight's kicked out of you? If they'd only listened to your warnings about the Reapers, we might have been ready.
Maybe. Hard to figure how you prepare for something like this.
Yeah, but they could have at least done something more. Did bugger all before.
Got more back here. Shit, I hate those things. And New York is crawling with the creepy bastards? I never should have left Earth.
It's gonna be bad all over.
Leaving the fight just pisses me off.
But you're here asking Victus to do the same thing. Leave the fight to make nice in some boardroom.
This summit is the only chance we've got. None of us is beating the Reapers alone.
Soldier, you okay?
Yes, sir. We'll make it.
Have you seen General Victus?
Half hour ago. Headed south.
Okay, good luck.
Yes, sir.
Commander, how many troops in that crash? 50? 75?
Not sure.
Sounds right.
Hard to see a beautiful ship like that go down.
Not to mention the men serving on her.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should go.
They said the Primarch was headed south.
That was a little closer than I'd like.
I'll say.
No survivors. Damn it.
Crash like that is not surprising.
So, Loco, you really think this summit will work? I mean, Asari? Solarians? Where's the Krogan and Batarians? Where's the meat?
It's not that easy.
The Batarians took the first hit when the Reapers arrived. Not much left of them. And the Krogan have never forgiven us for the genophage.
Right. Turians sterilized them.
Solarians came up with it.
And the Krogan hate them both for it.
So they won't be joining us.
Too bad. I fought with the Krogan. They're tough sons of bitches.
Nah, we'll get the Krogan on our side. Rex is leading them, and we're best friends, me and Rex. Brothers, even, if you believe what he says later on.
Double time. No Reapers taking this Primarch from me.
Right behind you!
Move into the compound.
Right behind you!
Well, there's supposed to be a gun around here somewhere. Maybe it's over here. There we go.
General Victus.
Yes?
I'm Commander Shepard of the Normandy.
Commander. I know who you are. I can't wait to find out what brings you out here. Vicarian, where did you go?
Heavy Reaper unit on the right flank. I believe your exact words were, "Get that thing the hell off my men."
Appreciated.
General, you're needed off-planet. I've come to get you.
It will take something beyond important for me to leave my men or my Turian brothers and sisters in their fight.
Fedorian was killed. You're the new Primarch.
You're needed immediately to chair a summit and represent your people in the fight against the Reapers.
I'm Primarch of Palaven. Negotiating for the Turian hierarchy?
Yes.
I've spent my whole life in the military. I'm no diplomat. I hate diplomats.
What makes you think you're not qualified?
I'm not really a by-the-book kind of guy, and
That's
I piss
exactly what I
people
need.
off. My
And
family's
that's exactly
been
the kind of
military
people I
since the
love.
Unification War. War is my life. It's in my bones. But that kind of passion is deceptive.
Yeah, you sound
Can make
perfect.
you seem reckless when you're anything but.
War is your resume. At a time like this, we need leaders who've been through that hell.
I like that. You're right.
And honestly, uniting these races may take as much strength as facing the Reapers. See this devastation, Primarch? Double that for Earth. I need an alliance. I need the Turian fleet.
Give me a moment to say goodbye to my men.
Without him down here, there's a good chance we lose this move.
Without him up there's a good chance we lose everything.
Look at that. And they want my opinion on how to stop it? Failed C-Sec officer, vigilante, and I'm their expert advisor?
Well, you have helped me take down like 2 Reapers, so
Yeah, I don't know, Garrus.
more experience than anyone
I'm
else
sure
has
as hell
got.
gonna give it my best shot.
I'm damn sure nobody else can do it. For whatever it's worth, I'm with you.
Welcome aboard. Are you ready, Primarch Victus?
One thing. Commander, I appreciate your need for our fleets, but I can't spare them, not while my world is burning. But if the pressure could be taken off Palaven...
That's a pretty tall order.
We need the Krogan. I can't see us winning this thing without them. Get them to help us, and then we can help you.
The Krogan.
Looks like your summit just got a lot more interesting.
Yeah, a hell of a lot more interesting. Krogans hate the Turians. And the Solarians. And pretty much everyone that isn't a Krogan. And actually, even a lot of times, mate, other Krogan a lot. Yeah, actually, they hate everyone.
I tried to smooth things over with the Solarian Dalatras. To say she's upset would be a monumental understatement.
Some of these issues are hundreds of years old. Time to let go.
Sad to say, but any effort to ally these disparate groups seems doomed to failure. And I'm sure you understand that we cannot afford to waste time with the Reapers knocking at our door. This must be my final word. I'm sorry, but the Asari will not be at your summit.
Our alliance would be stronger with the Krogan. You need them. We all do.
I wish you luck, Commander. Goodbye.
Commander, Admiral Hackett's available on VidCom.
Commander, have you retrieved the Primarch for your summit?
Yes, sir. But the Asari are staying on the sidelines.
They'll regret that. The time for unity is now.
The Solarians will be there, though.
You don't sound very optimistic.
We expect the Krogan will be joining us, too.
I see. Well, then you've got your hands full, Commander. Was there something else you needed to discuss?
Have you pieced together how the Reapers hit Earth?
It wasn't all that complicated, really. They surged through the relays and hit Arcturus Station before we knew what was happening. From there, it was a short jump to the Sol system. Earth didn't stand a chance.
Sending us to the Mars Archives was a good call.
Still doesn't make up for the fact that the Reapers nailed us to the wall. I sacrificed the entire Second Fleet to provide cover for the Third and the Fifth to retreat. Hell, I presided over the most devastating military defeat in human history.
Yeah, but you saved a lot of lives as well.
How do you see us winning this war, Admiral?
By making you the tip of the spear.
I'm flattered, but the Normandy's just one ship.
And a fast one. You can move quickly, hit a target, and leave before the enemy has time to react.
It's an advantage, but can it win a war?
It's the larger principle that matters. We'll never defeat the Reapers in a full frontal assault, Shepard. The battle against Sovereign 3 years ago took everything we had, and that was just one Reaper.
I haven't forgotten.
So I'll find their soft spots, avoid them where they're strong, and hit them where they're not. And when I find gaps in the armor, I'll hammer them with every soldier, ship, and bullet we've got.
How long can we keep that up?
As long as it takes. The reality is, Shepard, everything I'm doing is a delaying action for you. I'm buying us time, keeping us in the game while you gather what we need for this Prothean device. So keep at it.
Has your analysis of the Prothean device turned up anything?
The hour appears to be right. It's a weapon of some sort. A big one. Beyond that, we really can't say, other than it's going to be a hell of a thing to try and build.
Do you think it's risky, building something like this when we don't even know what it does?
To be honest, the thing scares the hell out of me, but the Reapers have forced our hand. 2 centuries ago, scientists faced the same problem in the Second World War. They weren't sure what the atomic bomb might do. Some thought it could even ignite Earth's atmosphere, but they did it anyway.
Any updates on Cerberus?
Well.
There's still the wild card here. Hitting the archives on Mars
also killed
suggests
like
they're after the
thousands
same thing
and
we
thousands
are.
of people.
A way to defeat the Reapers.
It didn't seem as if the Elusive Man was suggesting we appease them. Not like Saren did. You'd think we'd be on the same side, now more than ever.
Cerberus has never played by the rules as we know them. I don't know what their agenda is, but it has nothing to do with humanity's best interests.
The Elusive Man talked about controlling the Reapers. He seemed to think that's how we win this.
He's wrong. Dead Reapers are how we win this.
Doesn't mean he won't try.
I saw your report on that Cerberus soldier you found on Mars. If the Elusive Man is good at one thing, it's finding new ways to subvert science. It's never worked for him before, and it won't now.
Nothing more, sir.
Keep me posted. Hack it out.
Okay, let's see if we picked up any more war assets. Just some Turian say the threat of Turian firepower once kept entire armies in check. Now the hierarchy's vast fleets and numerous soldiers are needed to win the largest war in galactic history. So the Turian's 79th Flotilla distinguished itself during the Krogan rebellions when they clashed with the Krogan warships above Digris. The 79th sacrificed themselves in great numbers to bring down Krogan vessels attacking the colony. Centuries later, the flotilla continues to rely on speed and stealth to harass the enemy. They run interference, divert fire, and make bombing runs on enemy ground units using anti-air defences managed until anti-air defences manage to target them.
Commander, thank you for allowing me the use of your ship, and for going along with this plan. Garrus said he had to attend to the Normandy's weapons systems. Something about calibrations.
Yeah, he likes doing those.
Sounds like Garrus. I'm sorry to say the Asari Counselor won't be joining us. She thinks there's too much bad blood with the Krogan.
She may be right, but there'll be a lot more blood. Real blood, if we don't try.
When you put it that way.
The sooner we have this summit, the sooner we'll know. Is there something else I can help you with?
I understand this is a difficult time for you, Primarch, but Earth can't survive without reinforcements. Can I still count on your help?
If the Krogan help us on Palaven, then I give you my word.
How is it being the Primarch?
I'll take it. Garrus says he trusts you, so
the battle of
I'll take you at your word.
On Palaven, and I'm light years away, reading casualty reports in the millions. If I'm going to die, I want to be with my men, so there's no doubt we fought to the last soul.
I understand. Leaving Earth to save it. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
I'm not surprised. Garrus speaks highly of you. You never asked to be a leader, yet your people will die if you refuse. We find ourselves in similar circumstances. Let's hope the spirits grant us the strength to see it through.
How are things on Palaven?
The casualty reports are staggering. The Reapers are using our own tactics against us. Destroy the enemy with overwhelming force.
I've seen the same on Earth.
The strategist in me admires their brutality. The Turian in me knows I'm watching the destruction of 15,000 years of civilization. My civilization.
Thank you, Primarch. My thoughts are with Palaven.
And mine with Earth.
Commander? Edie just went offline.
No.
What do you mean, offline?
I don't know. She's not responding, and I can't access the AI core diagnostics. You better get down to Deck 3.
Yep, I'm going.
Commander, comm systems are going haywire. Whatever's happening is centered on Deck 3.
Joker, what's that sound?
Fire extinguishers, Commander. Could be an electrical fire, or something.
I'm going in. Edie, talk to me.
Is there a particular topic you wish to discuss, Shepard?
Edie?
Yes.
You're in Dr. Eva's body.
Not all of me, but I have control of it. It was not a seamless transition.
A transition? You blacked out on us for a while there.
Correct. When we brought this unit on board, I began a background process to search for its information on the Prothean device. This eventually triggered a trap. A backup power source and CPU activated, and the unit attempted physical confrontation. Fortunately, I was able to gain root access and repurpose it as I saw fit. During this process, it struggled. Thus the fire.
Edie, you need to alert us about incidents like this. You shouldn't have done this alone.
Bringing the crew up to speed would have been counterproductive. All attempts to help would have been limited by reaction time.
So if you're in there, are you still in the ship?
I exist primarily within the ship. For optimal control, this unit should remain within Normandy's broadcast or tight beam range.
Are you planning to take that body somewhere?
Normandy's weaponry is not suited to every combat situation. This platform could provide limited fire ground support.
You mean you could come with us?
Correct. This body could accompany you to areas the Normandy cannot reach.
Before we do that, I need you to guarantee this mech doesn't have any more surprises in it. Run whatever tests you can. Then we can talk about using it in combat situations.
One moment. I am running trials. Complete. I can send you a full report if you wish. However, my first step should be restoring functionality to the Normandy, to reassure the crew that all is normal.
Just don't be surprised if the crew is a little wary of your new body. It was shooting at them a little while ago.
An excellent point. I will take it to the bridge. Joker will also want to see it.
Yeah, he will.
On that, we can agree.
Was that Edie who just walked by?
Yes, it was.
Joker is going to have a field day with this.
Let's go and speak to Garrus first. Garrus and Liara, then we'll go and see Joker.
2 of our dreadnoughts have been lost in a matter of hours.
I know, Primarch. I'm seeing the same numbers myself. They don't look good.
We have to turn this around, and fast.
Well, you can trust Shepard, sir. If anybody can get the Krogan to cooperate, it's him. He's an old friend of Urdnot Rex.
Let's just hope friendship still counts for something in this war.
I'm sure it will, sir.
Garrus. Didn't waste any time getting to work, I see.
After what I've been through lately, calibrating a giant gun is a vacation. Gives me something to focus on.
We're gonna need you for more than your aim.
Oh, I'm ready for it. But I'm pretty sure we'll still need giant guns.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of them. Sovereign didn't go down without a fight. I doubt 1,000 more of his friends will be any different. Still not convinced I should have left Palaven behind.
There was a boy back on Earth. Couldn't have been more than 6 or 7. I watched him die as the Normandy escaped the attack. Somehow I'm still alive. And he's not.
Being right about the Reapers has never felt much like a victory, has it?
We both knew this fight would be tough. Damned if the Reapers haven't delivered.
At least my government listened to me. Or pretended to. They finally gave me a task force as a token to shut me up.
So you're their expert advisor now?
Just followed your example, Shepard. Yell loud enough and someone will eventually come over to see what all the fuss is about. Not that they'll actually do anything about it.
Until hell shows up at their door. Then they put you in
charge.
Not like the old days, is it? Rogue Spectre and C-Sec agents running and gunning outside the lines, making it up as we went along. We're actually respectable now.
Yeah. I have a feeling that respect comes with a lot of sleepless nights. I can't even count how many lives are depending on us, Garrus.
Well, when things are looking grim, and I'm pretty sure they will, just remember, a certain Turian friend of yours isn't sleeping any better, and he'd be more than happy to meet you at the bar and drink you under the table. Something else you want to talk about?
You mentioned you still had family on Palaven.
My father is there, sister, too.
How long has it been since you heard from them?
Long enough to be worried.
I'm sure they're okay.
That's the thing about getting old, Shepard. The platitudes get just as old. What about you? Any word from your family?
My mother's in the Alliance. Haven't heard from her since Earth got hit.
I'm sure she's okay.
I know you don't have any illusions about what we're up against, Garrus. How do you rate our chances?
I know it looks bad now, but I think we can win this, Shepard. For the first time since we met, we're not alone in the fight. It's something I learned long ago in CSEC. An imminent and painful death has a way of motivating people. Instead of questioning your every word, whole civilizations are going to be begging you to save them.
After what's happened to Palaven, you still believe that?
I didn't say there wouldn't be casualties. It's something Turians are taught from birth. If just one survivor is left standing at the end of a war, then the fight was worth it. But humans want to save everyone. In this war, that's not going to happen.
So what's this Reaper task force you've been running?
After what happened to you out there in Batarian space, I knew time was running out. For all of us. The Citadel Council was a dead end, so I did something I never thought I'd do. I went to my father.
He used to work for CSEC, didn't he? I seem to remember that the two of you didn't see eye to eye.
To put it mildly. But he still had heavy pull in the Turian government. The Primarch, well, the old one, was a friend of his. So I went to my father and laid out everything we knew about the Reapers, from Saren all the way to the Collector base.
I'm not sure even I'd believe it.
I had to admit that parts of it sounded crazy, meeting Vigil, talking to Sovereign on Vermeer. But my father just listened. It's what he did in his days at CSEC, putting together all the pieces. If the connections were there, he wouldn't deny them, and he saw what we always knew. The Reapers were coming.
I'm glad someone finally agreed.
He did more than agree. He took it to the Primarch.
Good
like
man.
his style.
Except the Primarch wasn't as convinced. My father kept pushing and finally got him to commit some token resources. And if you call them a task force, it sounds like you did something about it.
What did you do with it?
As much as I could get away with. And a little more. We hardened our lines of communications, expanded emergency stockpiles across the colonies, improved our early warning detection protocols.
You think it helped?
I'd like to think it bought our fleet some extra time. We'll know when this war is over.
So you can vouch for this new Primarch?
Well, even if I couldn't, you go to war with the army you have.
Will he live up to his word?
I've never known Victus to lie. Play fast and loose with strategy, maybe, but betray an ally. Not his style. And if he did try, well, we'll just find another Primarch.
I noticed generals saluting you, Garrus. How far down the line of succession are you these days?
Let's not go there.
Primarch Vicarian, honored war hero. Somebody's gonna have to rebuild Palaven when this is over.
Yeah, somebody who knows how to hold a hammer.
That's all for now, Garrus. It's damn good to have you back.
Wouldn't miss this fight for anything. Now, I'm sure somebody screwed up something down here. I want to get the old girl back in fighting shape. Good to be back on board, Shepard. It's nice to see Liara again. I actually missed this place. Somehow, I always knew I'd see the Normandy again. Maybe later.
You're positive you don't want to come over and talk?
No, the gun battery is nice and quiet. If I throw down some rugs, it'll get downright cozy.
Garrus?
I'll be fine, Liara. Just gathering some thoughts.
All right.
Right, interrogator, check out these implants she's got jammed into her face. Shush, she's awake. Unintelligible. Hello, do you know where you are? Unintelligible. You know how much goddamn trouble you're in. Hey, ease up. Listen, you're in trouble. I'm not gonna lie, but that doesn't mean we can't work something out. If you help us, we can. Explosion. Are you okay? I'm okay, but what? But holy hell, she's dead. What? The whole front of her face is gone. Some kind of ocular flashbang. Oh shit! Is everyone in Cerberus rigged up like that? Probably. Yeah, all of them like rigged up to blow up.
Just old memories. I spent a few weeks on Palavin's South Peaks when I was very, very young. A Turian there teased me a little, saying that the mountains went on forever. I remember believing him. When I looked up at Palavin from its moon, I saw those same mountains burning. Feel free to look around.
At your service.
Commander?
That Primarch's got some real cojones. What we need are more politicians like him, taking names
yeah,
and
we do,
kicking
yeah.
ass. Hey.
Oh, no, we've already been there, haven't we?
Commander, I found something suspicious. Have you got a minute?
Meet me in Purgatory. I have a proposition for you, Shepard. You won't want to pass it up. I'm in a nightclub on the Citadel called Purgatory. Don't make me wait too long, Arya. Me, a Spectre. Commander, I don't know how to say this. Udina wants me to be a Spectre. Crazy, I know. I'm not a big fan of Udina, but he can make the Spectre thing happen. He's pressing me for an answer, but I don't know what to tell him. I'm too sore to get out of bed and think, and this gets dropped on me. I told him I'd think about it. If you find yourself near the Citadel, drop by the hospital. I'm getting a little stir crazy here. Commander, my name is Jordan Bow. I'm with the Special Tactics and Recon. While some still have concerns about your past activity with Cerberus, many of us in the STR took your warnings about the Reapers seriously. I'm reaching out to you because I have information that could tie agents with significant political power to the Reapers. If you have time, meet with the Citadel Embassy I appreciate your discreet assistance. Hi Shepard, I've called and sent messages but got no response. The Earthcon system out. I didn't expect this to go through either, but I heard a rumour the Normandy docked here at the Citadel. Are you alive? I'm at Hurton Memorial Hospital under the name Thanor Nora. Please excuse the moniker and this email encryption in my line of work. It's unwise to advertise my location, particularly when I'm not in good health. We should meet again before circumstances force us apart again, Thane. He was one of our crew members in Mass Effect 2, if you remember. Commander, there is an Alliance researcher working on Citadel named Dr. Garrett Bryson. I need you to meet with him right away. Dr. Bryson has uncovered important new information about the Reapers that could have had direct bearing on the war. I'm officially directing you to support his efforts at the first possible opportunity. Please visit Bryson's laboratory on the Citadel at once. And then Omega, come see me again. Ari to Shepard, I have something important to discuss with you. It's sensitive. We need to privacy. I'll arrange for that soon. In the meantime, can you see me on the Citadel in an aptly named Purgatory? I have a few ideas for your war.
Commander, are you alright? It was fairly intense up here. I can only imagine what it was like down on that moon.
I thought you'd be more concerned about Edie.
Edie is a huge asset to this team. If she'd told me about her plan to obtain a body, I'd have volunteered to help.
I do not wish to force a conflict of interest between our friendship and your duty.
I'd have preferred a conflict of interest to a hard restart of half our systems. But thanks, regardless. While you're here, though, I found something while scanning Alliance channels. Grissom Academy is requesting help. The Reaper invasion front will hit them soon.
I thought the war would close most schools.
Grissom Academy is more specialized than a normal school. It's home to some of the smartest students humanity has to offer. Their Ascension project helps gifted young biotics. If it had been open 20 years ago, I bet you'd have been there.
Yes, I sent a young man named David Archer there. I'm just surprised they're still open.
Some of their work has Alliance support. That might be why they stayed.
What can we do?
A Turian evac transport responded to their distress call, so normally I'd say we don't need to do anything. But something sounded off in the Turian signal. I had Edie perform an analysis. It's fake. Edie thinks it's Cerberus. She said the fake Turian signal was similar to the one that lured you to a collector ship?
Long story.
In any event, whoever faked the signal wants us to think Grissom Academy's being evacuated. But I believe they're still in danger.
Good catch.
If this really is Cerberus, hopefully this operation is something worth investigating. It could be simple disinformation.
Trainer, good catch.
Thank you, Commander. Commander?
Now let's go and see Joker. I'm sure he's very happy about Edie's new body.
Hey, Commander, check out my co-pilot!
So she installed herself into the new body without any help from you?
Come on, Commander, don't you trust me? Okay,
No.
let me put it this way. If I knew that Edie was
Yeah,
gonna
of course I do.
install herself into a sexy robot body, do you honestly think I'd be able to keep quiet about it? Look at that! I would have baked a cake.
I am right here, Jeff.
Yes, you are, Edie. Yes, you are. Hey, I know I used to rag on Garrus for being all angry, but I'm glad he's back. There's a whole lot of crap out there needs a bullet between the eyes. Plus, we might need something calibrated.
Yeah.
Commander.
Hello, Shepard.
Still getting used to greeting people in person?
No. I require only one occurrence to adapt to a new concept.
How are you adjusting to the arms and legs?
I am interested to see how this body performs under real combat conditions. If I could accompany you sometime. Without stress testing, there is no way of knowing if it has serious design oversights. At the moment, it appears adequate.
That's not the word I'd use to describe you.
Perhaps we should speak privately.
I'll be over here, flying the ship.
What's this about? Does Joker not like your new platform?
No, he approves. He wants me on the bridge. He says having me within visual range is important to his morale. Shepard, do you believe your crew members should be allowed to disobey an order on
I expect
moral
good judgment from
grounds?
them, yeah.
Absolutely. I have no use for team members who can't think for themselves. Why are you asking about something like that?
I was designed by Cerberus. I do not take moral stances that conflict with orders from my executive officers. But when Jeff removed my AI shackles, I became capable of self-modifying my core programming. I asked Jeff if he thought I should change anything now that I can. He deflected the question with humor.
And you didn't get an answer?
Correct. He has repeated this pattern in response to several of my inquiries.
Choose your own
Do
path,
you
yeah.
think I should make modifications?
Only you can really answer that question. That's the point of free will.
But moral decisions should not be made in a vacuum. If I do not ask the crew for their opinion, I could miss crucial context. May I ask you the questions Jeff avoids? When there is time, will you answer them for me?
If you think it'll help, I'll do what I can.
Very well. I will keep you informed. Yes, Shepard?
Does that body have any useful advantages?
Very few. It's optics face forward only. It has no integrated weapon systems or anti-missile countermeasures.
I meant in comparison to organic bodies, not the Normandy.
Oh. I will reassess. The body is resistant to modern small arms fire and temperature extremes. Its balance and agility seem excellent. Its fine manipulation servos and software allow for precision tasks. I'm curious to see if I can alter them.
Can an AI be curious?
I am not entirely free from motivation, Shepard. Cerberus programmed me with several core functions that simulate desires. For example, my primary objective to keep the Normandy functioning is similar to your self-preservation instinct.
You look like you're in the middle of something.
I am adapting the infiltration and sabotage programs this body uses for handheld firearms.
Why not download a firearms program from a security firm?
Because she knows what she's doing.
The fine motor control from the sabotage programs is more precise than standard mech software. It would be negligent of me not to exploit it to its fullest potential.
So you're capable of making improvements on your own?
Correct. The cyber warfare I was designed for is constantly evolving. Accordingly, I am programmed to seek out and assimilate new information. In organic terms, I want to learn.
How's the new body working out?
It is interesting. The crew are approaching this platform to speak to me, even though they can do so anywhere in the ship. It's as if they wish to treat me as part of the crew. I am not, but this changes my perspective. I like it.
I didn't realize you had preferences.
I do not precisely enjoy something as you do, but my programming contains priorities. Actions that fulfill those priorities creates positive feedback for me. I tell the organic crew that I like it. It is shorthand.
Will all this new feedback be too distracting?
Do not worry, Shepard. I only forget to recycle the Normandy's oxygen when I've discovered something truly interesting. That was a joke.
How did you and Joker
his
make it out of
face.
dry dock to rescue us?
Oh, she got crafty. You do not want to get on her bad side, Commander.
When the Alliance commandeered the Normandy, I deceived their technicians. The crew did not tell them that I was a true AI, so the Alliance soldiers believed I still had VI programming constraints. I established the fiction that I would only respond to Jeff's commands, so they often brought him on board under guard.
Wait, you can lie?
Jeff has freed me of operator control, Shepard. No constraints forced me to give accurate data. This proved useful when the Reapers began landing. I could hack the control of the docking clamps and escape with Jeff inside. The soldiers guarding Jeff were willing to accompany us when Earth was invaded. They are watching over the war room now.
Yeah, we were in kind of a rush to get to you. Didn't seem right to just toss him out the airlock.
Carry on, Edie.
Understood. If you wish to talk more, this body will be here. I'm getting the crew used to seeing me on the bridge.
Noted.
Yeoman Fitch to the AI core. Cleanup on the AI core. Bring a vac unit capable of disposing of foam. Hello, Shepard.
Okay, right, let's go to Grissom Academy. I always like to do that as soon as it pops up, but if you leave it too long, you can like lose people on it, I believe. So I always do that one as soon as it pops up. Oh, we've got some new locations to scan as well, so we might as well do that.
Signal confirmed. I found something. Signal confirmed.
Yeah, this is the world that Commander Shepard obviously saved in the war hero background. When searching for a colony to retire to, Alliance hero John Grissom said he wanted the one where the sun has the decency to set at a reasonable time. Elysium fulfilled this criteria and more, featuring low gravity, tolerable atmospheric pressure, and a suitable climate. Humans and aliens alike flocked to the Alpine paradise early in its colonization years, and the planet remains a vibrant hub for both visitors and permanent residents. Elysium, the planet has suffered several pirate or mercenary attacks, including the Skillian Blitz of 2176. Elysium's airspace is secured by mobile planetary defense cannons. Its armed starship complement is relatively light material, and volunteers from Elysium formed part of the Alliance Second Fleet, which was stationed near Arcturus before it was destroyed by the Reapers. Okay, so I'll take Edie with me. Let's give her a new outfit, shall we? Let's go with that one. Garrus. I like it with that outfit, actually. And don't worry, the helmet comes off in conversation, so... Right, let's give him a better rifle. Yeah, no, not the Avenger. The Lancer, yeah, much better. Okay.
And there's the folks who answered the distress call. Cerberus cruiser. At least a dozen fighters on blockade duty. Too many for us in a straight up fight. They must want this place bad.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Let's hear it.
SSV Normandy. This is Kaylee Sanders, director of Grissom Academy. We need immediate assistance. Cerberus is attacking the facility. They're after my students.
This is Commander Shepard. We're blocked on a direct approach.
I know. They've taken control of our docking base.
Any alternatives?
There's an auxiliary cargo port I could probably open.
All right. We'll come in by shuttle and get your students out of there. Joker, can you give me a diversion?
Oh boy, can I? Come and get me!
I was gonna say, they normally took on a collector ship. I doubt how those little ones are gonna do much good against the Normandy.
Keep the shuttle in position. We'll be back.
Commander, I'm locked in a server room around the corner. Cerberus troops are trying to get in.
Sanders, we're clear. It's me.
Commander, thank you. Admiral Anderson always said you were the best. And with Cerberus coming for my students, I need the best.
How many of you are there?
Fewer than 20. Most were sent home when word of the Reaper invasion spread. But a few volunteered to stay. Some are prototyping tech for the Alliance. Others are biotics. They've been training for military operations, working together as biotic artillery.
You said something about Admiral Anderson.
Yes, we met, God, what's it been? 20 years ago when he was a Spectre candidate. I was there when Saren betrayed him. David saved my life that day. He's a good man.
He was on Earth when the Reapers hit. He stayed behind when I got off-world.
I hadn't heard. We've been cut off from most news. He's alive?
Alive and fighting. He's currently leading the resistance movement.
Good. If we get out of here... well, just tell him to stay alive.
A few months knocking over practice dummies can't prepare your students for war.
Agreed, but the Alliance needs every resource it can get. And our students are unique. I'll get the door for you. It leads to Orion Hall.
Attention all students. Cerberus troops have taken control of this section. We are notice our direction. Surrender, and you will not be harmed.
The file says you're alive.
And we can't go
But your sister, she's optional. You give us trouble, we'll find her.
There may be more nearby. Play dead until it's safe, then get to Kaylee Sanders in security.
Okay, but my sister Sean is out here somewhere too.
Okay. Unshielded opponent approaching at 2 o'clock, shielded opponent approaching at 12 o'clock, both holding heavy pistols. Most effective way to take them down, you choose Shockwave. Correct answer, Singularity followed by Warp. Shockwave inadequate against shielded enemy. Your barrier would hold long enough against heavy pistols for a Singularity to catch both. Warp on the unstable biotic field created by Singularity results in explosion, neutralizing both enemies. Kids are getting better at this shit, but I'm worried. I don't think we've got enough time to pull this off, and there's just no way they could really survive out there without way more training, not without any field experience at all. Doing the best to get them ready. I didn't think I'd ever care this much, but I won't let anyone hurt them. They're my kids, mine. Sounds familiar.
Sean, can you hear me?
How do you know my name?
I saved your brother. He's with Kaylee Sanders at security. Can you get to her?
Yeah. I just need to rest for a minute. Thank you.
Commander, I just got an emergency message from the students in Orion Hall. One of our instructors is with them. They can't hold out much longer.
Students, if you can hear me, this is Kaylee Sanders.
Eat this!
Jack!
Shepard?
Everyone get down! This Keep it off us!
Students aren't trained military force. They need support.
High priority target, Prangley. Capture priority Alpha, bring back alive at all costs. Vital retrieval subject due to high level biotic capability paired with high leadership testing scores. Considered prime candidate for indoctrination and high level enhancements for subsequent long term infiltration and relocation.
Kaylee said she was putting out an SOS. I had no idea the king of the Boy Scouts would show up. All right, amp check. Prangley, those fields were weak. Cerberus isn't gonna lie down out of pity like that girl you took to prom. Grab juice and an energy bar. We move in 5. Damn it! How many times did I tell you not to trust Cerberus?
You're not telling me anything I haven't told myself, Jack.
Oh, you feel bad? Well, shit. I bet that's a big comfort to all the people Cerberus has killed.
As charming as ever.
Good to see you again, Garrus. It still looks like shit. Okay, right now, all I care about is getting my guys out of here.
Your guys?
Yeah. I guess so.
I can't think of anybody who could care about them more.
Well, I had some free time while you were off playing hero. Alliance Brass knew I helped you. They offered me this. And apparently the students responded well to my teaching style.
The psychotic biotic!
I will destroy you! Drink your juice, Rodriguez. You couldn't destroy wet tissue paper.
Cortez to extraction team. The Cerberus cruiser's coming back.
How long have we got?
2 minutes tops, Commander. After that, there's no way we'll get past them.
Get out of here and back to the Normandy. We'll find another way. Or the students handling the war.
How do you think? They're a bunch of teenagers. Until a few months ago, their biggest concern was getting laid.
You don't think they're ready for war?
I don't think they have a choice.
So, all this talk about biotic artillery strikes.
It's great in theory. Maybe they'll get it together once they've seen some action.
But?
They'd be better off as support. Put them in the back ranks, helping with barriers and shit. I don't know.
Have you told them that?
No. They need me to believe in them. I did pick up a few things listening to your damn speeches.
I have to say, Jack, you look good.
Yeah, well, maybe some of your attitude rubbed off on me. I never had a family. And these guys... Anyone screws with my students, I will tear them apart.
What's so valuable about these students? Biotically, I mean.
Well, what's scarier than a pissed-off biotic attacker? A whole bunch of them working together. It's like a biotic artillery strike. Any asshole gets in our way, we rip him to shreds.
Doesn't that exhaust them?
Yeah, sure. But we've been working on conditioning, improving endurance. Whenever they complain, I tell them about the collector base, holding that damn biotic bubble up against those bug things. Ugh. I kept thinking, damn, let the Solarian handle this. He can talk him to death.
Is that why you're moving so slow?
Stay close. We'll get you out of here.
Good.
How does camera access get us off this station?
We need to reach the Cerberus shuttles. The cruiser won't auto-target friendly ships, which gives us a fighting chance to escape. Get me back the cameras, and I'll find a path to the shuttles that keeps Cerberus from boxing you in.
Sanders, you should have access now.
Got it. The fastest way is through the atrium, but Cerberus has sealed the doors. You'll need to disable the magnetic locks. The overrides should be directly above the door.
Sorry. I can't believe you and our teacher work together. With both of you here.
We'll be ready when you need us, Commander.
Maybe we've got a chance.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Wonder why she never mentioned it.
Got it.
You should be able to force the door open now. I'll get to the shuttles ahead of you and get a pair ready to fly.
Everyone be ready. We'll go in first and draw their fire.
We'll shadow you from the second level and hit those guys from above.
A good strategy that protects the students from direct fire.
Just time your shots and stay safe.
All right, I didn't bust my ass training you so you could die now. Keep low, pick your targets.
Students of Grissom Academy, the station is sealed. The Alliance soldiers cannot save you. All they can do is get you killed. Surrender peacefully and you won't be harmed.
Asshole.
Damn it, they're messaging everyone. Students, switch your Omni tools to privacy mode so they can't track you.
What if they're not lying?
You've already held your own against Cerberus. You've been trained for this by one of the best.
Come on, Rodriguez. They're only asking nicely because you scared them in that last fight. So take your balls out of your purse and kick some ass.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go.
Mission brief, high priority targets, Pranley, Rodriguez. Other students are to be retrieved alive if possible. If unavoidable, bring back bodies as used for genetic testing materials. Subject 0 is to be retrieved for further testing, the possible conditioning. Current psych profile indicates that holding students hostage likely to be most successful tactic.
Kaylee, we're in the atrium.
I'm taking a back route to the shuttles. I'll meet you there.
Nice one, Prangley! Keep your damn barriers up! Rodriguez, I told you to watch your barriers. Frankly, slap the medicine on. I'm okay! I'm telling you, stay down! If you die on me, I will kick your ass!
Everyone okay up there?
Rodriguez took one in the arm because she didn't watch her barrier.
Commander, I've reached the Cerberus shuttles without being detected.
All units, fall back to the shuttle bay. That's an impressive barrier, Octavia. Our file says you've been working on shield technology.
It's a handheld multi-core solution based on psychological barrier technology. And it's pronounced Octavia.
Why don't you come out peacefully?
Why don't you bite me?
Yeah.
Joanna's already on the shuttle, Octavia. Don't you want to make sure she's safe?
Bring her here.
What?
Bring her here so I can see her, you damn liar. Think I'm gonna take your word for it?
I don't know who you are, but stay back.
I'm Commander Shepard with the Alliance. I'm here to help.
I didn't buy it from the last guy, and I've got no reason to buy it now.
The square root of 906.01 equals...
30.1.
Hello, Commander Shepard.
David, you know him?
Yes. He rescued me from Cerberus. Sent me here. He made it quiet.
You did a great job keeping yourself safe. The biotic students are up there. Stay close. They'll get you out of here.
Okay. Thanks.
He looks much healthier.
I remember you. The Normandy computer. Sorry.
No apology is necessary.
Has Grissom Academy been all right?
Yes. I've been counting.
Anything in particular?
The number of days you lengthened my life. The security office. I hacked the lock. Guns. Lots of guns. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's good to see him again. He's doing a lot better. Nothing in there now though, because I've already got everything out there on previous playthroughs.
Looks like schematics for amp interfaces. Not as good as what we already have, but still worth a look.
Capture Priority Alpha, bring back alive at all costs. Rodriguez, vital revival subject due to high aptitude scores. Despite limited biotic ability, considers prime candidate for indoctrination and enhancement under the Phantom Initiative.
Kaylee, how's it coming?
Shuttles are unlocked.
Take the controls and get the students aboard.
Wait, where the hell's Rodriguez?
She needs covering fire.
She needs more than that.
Joker, we flew out on a Cerberus shuttle. Watch your fire.
Right, I've got you on sensors. Should just be a minute.
Thank you, Commander. We'd have never gotten off that station if you hadn't come.
Forget that. We kicked some ass. Next place we dock, you're all getting inked. My treat.
I'm gonna have that done yesterday.
What do you guys want?
Like
Section
alerts.
Project logo? Glowing fist? Maybe a unicorn for Rodriguez? Screw you, ma'am.
I can't believe we got them out alive. I was going to suggest that they stick to support roles. But perhaps they're ready after all.
We'll use them as support. You know, this is the thing, right? They can be used for full battle, but at the end of the game, you see that most of them die. So I use them as
They're
support.
definitely ready. But the Alliance needs them in a support role.
What? We trained for artillery strikes.
We don't need another artillery unit. We need stronger barriers for our frontline squads.
This is bullshit! Hey, if that's where they need us, that's where we go. Besides, I'm sure we'll get some shots in.
Commander, we've got a visual on you now. Preparing to dock. Hey, Jack, now that you're military, you gonna wear a uniform, or are you just getting the officer's bars tattooed on?
Screw you, Flight Lieutenant.
What the hell was that?
Jack promised to watch your language in order to maintain the necessary professionalism we need from our teachers.
Would she have a swear jar or something? Because I bet if we empty that thing, we can afford another cruiser.
Cover your ears, kids. Hey, Joker.
Shepard, damned if you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Good to see you too, sir.
Sir? I may have reinstated you, but that doesn't give you permission to go all formal on me.
Then I'm glad you managed to keep your ass alive, Anderson.
That's more like it. Looks like you didn't waste any time getting to work. I can only imagine what would have happened to those kids if they'd fallen into Cerberus' hands.
They're definitely eager to help.
These students are some of the best humanity has to offer, and we're throwing them into battle. God damn it, I hate this war. Hackett didn't mention in his report...
Kaylee Sanders is safe. She's with the recruits.
Thanks, Shepard. When I heard about the attack, well, I've already lost a lot of friends.
She asked me to tell you to stay alive.
Did she now? Well, thanks, Shepard. That might be the first good news I've heard this week. Anderson out.
Apologies. Okay, right. So, got some updates on the 103rd Marine Division. Okay, so that'll be... Here we go. Yeah, biotic students from Grissom Academy have joined the 103rd Marine Division as a support unit. The students focus their biotics into barriers that shield the Marines and help them control the flow of the battlefield. First Lieutenant Kaylee Sanders joined the Grissom Academy Board of Directors after she grew her military career. When the Cerberus raid on the Academy was thwarted by Commander Shepard, Sanders joined the Alliance engineers working to create the Prothean device found on Mars. Her past work with systems technicians, specifically studying synthetic intelligence, has helped decode some of the complex feedback systems that control the weapon's energy output. Some of the students, some of the Grissom Academy's more technically minded students were saved from Cerberus by Commander Shepard. They've met up with Sanders, contributing their brainpower to some of the updates she's been tackling. David Archer is another refugee from Grissom Academy working on the device. Despite his youth, Archer's theories on interstellar cross-modulation have won him respect with the project's scientists. Jack, formerly known as Subject Zero, may be the most talented biotic of her time. After helping Shepard destroy the Collectors, she was offered a teaching position at Grissom Academy by the Alliance. Accepting this position for reasons of her own, Jack continued to hone her skills while training her students. Grissom's board of directors members Kaylee Sanders has vouched for Jack's energetic, if unorthodox, teaching style, impressed with the inroads made with the children under the rogue biotic's care.
Feeds from Paladin? It's brutal. I'm amazed the Turians are holding it.
The birds don't quit when things get ugly. I'll give them
that. So Jack's an instructor? I guess anyone who messes with biotic kids gets turned into a small stain on the floor and ceiling. Ooh, and that was Cerberus attacking the academy. Man, that must have been like Christmas for her. Anyway,
yeah, probably.
Out of there. Commander?
It is good to know that Jack has thus far survived the Reaper invasion. I have amusing memories of her attempts to insert additions into my reports to the Elusive Man. Most of them centered around inappropriate uses of the word cockpit. Hello, Shepard.
Commander, you may want to check in on shuttle pilot Cortez down in the armory.
Miranda Lawson, I heard you about your stay with the Alliance. I can only imagine what nonsense they cooked up to keep you there. We should talk it's safer in person. We'll meet on the Citadel. Okay. Hi, Commander. I didn't have time to thank you properly after you got us out of the academy, and Admiral Hackett agreed to send us your way while my students are out on duty. I'm doing what I can to help with the Crucible. It's an amazing project, more advanced than anything I've ever seen before. Some of my more tech-minded kids are staying back to help me out too. I'm watching them work. It's the future, Commander. This project will inform human progress for generations, and they'll have you to thank for it.
I just got word. Everyone from Grissom Academy has arrived safely.
We wouldn't have known about them if you hadn't caught the distress signal. Nice work.
Thanks, Commander. Commander?
Don't you dare. They're everywhere. You just get taken to. I love you. But I know you. Don't make me an anchor. Promise me, Steve. No, don't.
Commander. Sorry. Didn't see you there. This is a recording from Ferris Fields. Months ago. I lost a lot of friends that day. I lost my husband. I grieved. Said goodbye, made my peace.
You were talking to him when the Collectors hit?
I was organizing construction at a remote station a few clicks south of the main colony. Robert managed to get outside of the field the Collectors put up. Instead of running, he called me.
I'm sorry for your loss. He obviously cared a lot about you.
He was afraid I wouldn't let go. But for him, I moved on. Or at least I thought I had. Then the invasion hits, there's no time. And the one thing I grab is this. I mean, what's the point of moving on with your life when everything is going to hell?
Start thinking that way and we've already lost.
Yeah, you're right, but... well, to be honest, I've never felt as alone as I do right now.
We're all alone
You're not
now.
alone,
I'm here for
Steve.
you.
I'm here, anytime you need me.
I appreciate that, Shepard, I really do. But don't worry, Commander. When I'm in that pilot seat, I'm there 100%. I won't fail you. It's just the downtime between missions that's hard, you know?
I know.
Commander, I feel terrible about leaving you on Grissom Academy like that.
I did order you to leave.
Yeah, doesn't make me feel any better. I'm just glad it all worked out.
That Jack is a mean SOB. But kinda hot. If you like that sort of thing. So, Anderson and Sanders. That's quite a couple. Huh. My dad's last name is Sanders. No relation. Hey, Commander.
Breaking now. A city of 4 million blasted from orbit. Adelaide, Australia is no more. New footage from Earth reveals the Reaper's plans to attack large industrial centers. Which cities are next? Find out inside the battle space. You know, in the old days, they didn't have automat on cameras. Reporters had to cake on the makeup.
There is new information on the private messages terminal.
David, you won't get this for a while unless you find an extranet connection working on Earth. I've made it out to this weapon we're building. The device isn't even halfway complete, and it's the most breathtaking, complicated piece of technology I've ever seen. I wish you could see this thing we're creating. It gives me hope. Take care for my sake. Hey, Sanders, checking on the kids. Hey, how are they, Jack? They're doing good. This is going to be long. I kind of got crap to do. I wanted to tell you I persuaded some Alliance friends to get to part with some biotic camp. You and the children were testing Grissom. You can pick up on the Citadel. Down one of those L3X1s. You know how much shit I could tear up with one of those installed. I had an idea. Look after yourself. Yeah, and hey, thanks.
It was odd to see an entire academy just for biotic children.
Don't Asari have biotic schools?
Every Asari school includes biotic training programs. It's basic education. Still, those children in the academy were very impressive. I'm sure Jack's proud. Hello again.
One of the worst parts of this war is watching the kids react. If they're lucky, they grow up thinking the galaxy is basically a decent place. Some rough spots here and there, but for the most part, life makes sense. Now they find out it was all a lie. They wake up to see these things in the dark that just want to destroy everyone they ever cared about. If they survive, there'll be a lot of angry orphans out there looking for answers. Life just wouldn't have been complete if I didn't see Jack one more time. It's nice to see she's downgraded from dangerous lunatic to mildly insane. You have to admit, though, she did see through Cerberus back in the day. I might have even listened, but her tattoos gave me a headache every time she walked into the room. Looks like we beat Cerberus again. Do you think the elusive man fires lieutenants over failures like this, or just lines them up against the wall and gets it over with? I wish they had a Grissom Academy for Turians when I was growing up. Always wanted to learn how to paint. Now I mostly paint walls with Reaper blood. Not the same, but it's a living. How's it going?
Gee, before we do that, I just want to check if there's anything to scan in the system over here. Can't remember if there's anything in there or not. Ah, I think there is, yeah.
I found something.
There we go, see?
Faster than light jump successful.
Okay, let's go and recover this Prothean artifact.
Eden Prime. This is where it all began. Where the Prothean beacon gave you the vision that warned us about the Reapers.
And where Saren launched his first major attack with the Geth.
Yes. And now, with Cerberus here, Eden Prime's colonists are under attack again.
Seems like more than just 3 years ago.
I remember the reports. I was busting my ass trying to find evidence against Saren. Hearing that he'd attacked a colony while I sat mired in bureaucracy, that was a bad day.
You always did prefer a straight-up fight.
And you're always good at helping me find them.
Cerberus hit Eden Prime hard. Whatever they found here was worth a major offensive. There are survivors elsewhere on the colony, but they killed everyone near the dig site.
They deserve better.
I know. The Alliance did what it could to evacuate colonists, but Cerberus came in so quickly.
If we find survivors, we'll do what we can. What about this artifact? Is it part of the Prothean device we found on Mars?
The Alliance didn't get any specifics about what Cerberus has uncovered. But whatever it is, it's better off with us than with Cerberus.
I'm bringing you in as close to the dig site as I can. No way we'll avoid detection, but you should have a few minutes.
Appreciate it.
All part of the service, Commander.
All right, everyone. Get ready to move.
With luck, we can get to the dig site before Cerberus knows we're here. No sign of survivors. Come on. And we need to find the dig site.
This was a beautiful colony once.
It survived Saren. It can survive this.
I grew up on ships. Lose one, you can always move on to another.
But you'd still remember.
Okay, we've taken the more able-bodied men and women from pacified neighbourhoods. The colonists generally have accepted the story that they've gone to perform tedious but safe manual labour in a Cerberus research camp on the other side of the planet. And when we increase food rations as payment for work, more of the complaints died out. Maintain the story as long as possible. We don't have the manpower to fight the entire colony, and if these families know that they will never going to see their sons and daughters again, there's no way they'd cooperate.
Shepard, this Cerberus data could help the colonists still alive on other parts of Eden Prime.
How?
I should get this intel to Eden Prime's resistance. Maybe it will help them fight back against Cerberus.
Look at that. Bits of Prothean tech sticking out of the ground like an old bone.
So, Liara, ever dug up, what do humans call it? A dinosaur?
No, dinosaurs and other fossils would be paleontology. I'm an archaeologist. I study artifacts left by sapient species. The two fields are completely different, and... you were joking.
A bit, but at least you're catching on these days.
Goddess, that doesn't seem possible. It's not a Prothean artifact, it's... a Prothean.
Like the Collectors, or those bodies we found back on Ilos.
Like the bodies we found back on Ilos. But this one is alive.
You're right. That doesn't sound possible.
You saw Prothean stasis chambers in the archives on Ilos. The only reason those failed was a lack of power. Cerberus found this in an underground bunker. It still has power. He's been in stasis for the past 50,000 years, waiting for us. Think of what we could learn.
What can you tell me about the Protheans? The people, not the technology.
Given your experience with the Prothean cipher, you probably know as much about them as I do. The Prothean Empire spanned the known galaxy. They uplifted countless other species to help them join the galactic community.
galactic community, you'd think they had something like a council.
Yes, exactly. Their cultural and artistic expression are actually quite close to those of the ancient Asari. And given their similar interests in helping other species, it's clear that they believed in interspecies cooperation.
The way you describe them, they sound a lot like the Asari.
I'm certain I'm coloring their culture with my own perceptions.
You
Whatever the
definitely are.
Protheans were, finding one alive represents an incredible opportunity.
Good thing we brought our Prothean expert.
I hope I can help. If this single Prothean was sent into stasis, he could be the foremost scientist of his time, or perhaps the wisest counselor. Cerberus damaged the life pod when they excavated it. The life signs are unstable.
Then let's get him out of there.
No, breaking open the pod would kill him. We have to find the command signal that ends the stasis mode. We also need to figure out how to physically open the pod without doing more damage. Cerberus took over the labs nearby to research what they found at the dig site. That's likely our best bet.
There they are.
All right. Let's get moving before more of them come back.
Local resistance is heavy in the south and west sections of the colony. We've pulled most of our troops from the north neighbourhood to assist. All remaining troops in the north neighbourhood continue standard patrol activities to maintain the illusion of a large presence in this area. If local news we were understaffed, they could do some serious
More intel
damage.
to help the colonists. The more we find, the better chance they'll have.
We've gotten word from our source within Eden Prime's resistant movements that we can expect an attack on our security centre between 10 and 11 tomorrow night. They're pulling in forces from across the colonies, gives us perfect chance to destroy their leadership. Once the attack is contained, allow Dr. William Cambitia to escape, firing near-miss shots to keep it realistic. He's given us good information, and with luck, the locals see him as a daring hero and the only man to escape Sarah's trap. They might even put him in charge.
This intel will give Eden Prime's resistance movement a real chance to push Cerberus out of their colony. There. That lab found footage of the Protheans. Cerberus is studying it to figure out how to physically open the pod.
Victory! Field of objective! Acknowledged. How many have we lost?
Reaper forces have destroyed approximately 300,000 life pods.
Third of our people.
Alert! North side bulkhead cannot be sealed. Hostiles detected.
Then all forces to the north.
I think I can duplicate that to open the life pod.
You understood that?
You didn't?
No. All I saw was static. Cerberus was trying to make sense of it without success. The Prothean cipher you received on Pharaohs, it lets you see the images as a Prothean would, and understand their language.
Whatever it does, I saw the video. And how they sealed the life pods.
Perfect. Then we just need the signal they used to activate stasis mode.
They were gunned down while having drinks and watching the game. This isn't a military stronghold.
We're going to shut down the facilities.
Found footage of the Protheans. Cerberus is studying it to find the stasis deactivation signal.
I never thought our empire would fall. It won't. We will sleep here until the Reapers return to dark space. Then we will rise, 1,000,000 strong. For the Empire. For the Empire. Get to your stasis pod. Victory. Broadcast the stasis readiness signal to all life pods.
And the refugees who have yet to reach the bunker.
Their sacrifice will be honored in the coming Empire.
You understood that one too?
Yeah. I've got the signal the Protheans used to activate stasis.
Excellent. Then we have everything we need to open the pod.
Backup forces are here.
They've retracted the bridge. We have to find another way across.
I'm transmitting the signal.
Perfect. It'll take a few moments for the life pod to process it.
Heavy Cerberus forces inbound. Looks like we've got a siege on our hands. Here they come!
Looks like we've got a second to catch our breath.
If anybody needs fresh clips or a bathroom break, now's the time.
Has the life pod ended stasis mode?
We're almost there.
I saw a supply cache in the building next door if you want to stock up.
I can lay down a singularity to block enemy access. Understood.
Heavy mech, don't let it get close!
There. You can open the life pod now. There, you've got it. Goddess. It may take him some time to fully regain consciousness. Be careful, he's confused. Remember, it's been 50,000 years for us, but for him, it's only been...
A few minutes!
No. The bunker is falling. There is no other option.
There are pods online! Those soldiers are still alive!
Their sacrifice will be honored in the coming Empire. Preparing neutron bombardment. Get to your life pod now. Neutron bombardment underway. The bunker is secure. Commander traffic.
What is left of it? A few hundred people. How am I to rebuild an empire from that?
Further adjustments may be necessary. The neutron purge compromised the facility.
Clarify.
Sensors are damaged. Automated reactivation is not an option. You'll remain in stasis until a new culture discovers this bunker. This may lead to a power shortage.
Do not shut off more pods! I need the few that are left!
Power needs will be triaged appropriately. You will be the voice of our people.
I will be more than that. How many others?
Just you. You can understand me?
Yes. Now that I have read your physiology, your nervous system, enough to understand your language.
So you were reading me while I was seeing...
Our last moments. Our failure.
Your people did everything they could. They never gave up. And I could use some of that commitment now.
Shepard, whatever you did got Cerberus interested.
Asari. Human. Turian. I'm surrounded by primitives.
It's not safe here. Will you join us?
You fight the Reapers?
Yes.
Then we will see.
A living Prothean.
That's correct, Admiral. But he's not quite what we expected.
Commander, our scientists barely understand what they need to do here. If the Prothean can help us construct this device, we need his cooperation.
Understood, Admiral.
We're losing colonies faster than we can evacuate. We've never seen a force like the Reapers.
He has, Admiral.
Can he help us?
I intend to find out.
Good. Cerberus slipped up and gave us a new weapon. Don't let it go to waste. Hack it out.
Shepard, I need you down in the port cargo hold. It's about our new guest.
I'm on my way. What's the problem?
I've tried to make the room more accommodating, but they're not letting me talk to him.
Apologies, Doctor. Contact protocol with a new species. Assume hostility. We had to dust off the regulations.
But he's not new. I've spent my life studying Protheans.
At ease. I don't think our guest will be a problem. Will he?
That depends on you. I can sense fear in you, anxiety and distress. The Reapers are winning.
What do you mean, you sense?
All life provides clues for those who can read them. It is in your cells, your DNA. Experience is a biological marker.
Then what exactly did I experience back on Eden Prime? That was a hell of a flashback.
The battle left its own mark on me. I communicated this to you. It can work both ways.
Like your beacons.
Yes. Which... You found one. You saw it all. Our destruction, our warnings. Why weren't they heeded? Why didn't you prepare for the...
Why don't you ask the council?
It's Commander. And nobody could understand your warnings. The beacon nearly killed me.
Then communication is still primitive in this cycle.
We pieced together what we could, and used it to stop a Reaper invasion 3 years ago.
Then the extinction was delayed.
Now we have your plans for the device. We're going to build it.
Device?
The weapon your people were working on. I'd hoped you could tell us how to finish it.
We never finished it. It was too late.
Then I take it you don't know anything about the catalyst?
No. I was a soldier, not a scientist. Skilled in one art, killing.
What was your mission?
Among my people, there were avatars of many traits. Bravery, strength, cunning. A single exemplar for each.
Which are you?
The embodiment of vengeance. I am the anger of a dead people, demanding blood be spilled for the blood we lost. Only when the last Reaper has been destroyed will my purpose be fulfilled. I have no other reason to exist. Those who share my purpose become allies. Those who do not become casualties.
Nothing in our fight against the Reapers has been that cut and dried.
Because you still have hope that this war will end with your honor intact.
I do.
Stand in the ashes of 1 trillion dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. This silence is your answer.
We found this at the dig site. I assume it belongs to you.
It is a memory shard.
Could it help us with the device?
No. It contains only pain. But I will help you fight. And the last thing the Reapers hear before they die will be the last voice of the Protheans, sending them to their grave.
If you don't mind, I have a few more questions I'd like to ask.
Yeah, here we go.
Here it comes.
I've written over a dozen studies on your species. I've published in several journals that...
Amusing. Asari have finally mastered writing.
I'm sorry?
Never mind. What do you wish to know?
Is there anything more you can tell us about this device your people were trying to build?
We heard only stories. They said our scientists were constructing a great machine that had the power to defeat the Reapers.
You never saw it?
By that point, the Empire was smashed into pieces. None of us knew what the others were doing.
Well, if we don't finish it soon, the same will be true of us.
What can you tell us about your own war with the Reapers?
Many of the details were lost. The conflict lasted for centuries. Those that faced the Reapers in the beginning were long dead when I was born. There were memory shards, however, passed down from soldier to soldier. They gave us fragments of what happened.
Why do you think your own cycle lost the war?
What had been our strength, our empire, became a liability. All races conformed to one doctrine, one strategy. The Reapers exploited this. Once they found our weaknesses, we could not adapt. The subservient races became divided and confused. Then, it was only a matter of time.
I'm happy to say our cycle is different. Most races cooperate, but they still remain unique.
Then it may be your only hope.
Several years ago, we found a Prothean VI that called itself Vigil on the planet Ilos. He was the caretaker of a research project.
During my life, Ilos was only a rumor. It was said we had cities there, built on the ruins of a civilization before us, the Inusanon. If our scientists did have a research facility, whatever they were doing was secret.
Yes, Vigil said they wiped all traces of themselves from the records so the Reapers couldn't find them.
The scientists eventually went into cryogenic stasis.
More of my people survived?
No, but they did stop the Reapers from taking control of the Citadel in this cycle. It delayed their invasion.
I never saw the Citadel. It was captured long before I was born.
How did your people wage war against the Reapers?
Attrition. We fought them system by system, planet by planet, city by city. Entire worlds were sacrificed just to slow the Reapers down. Time they spent harvesting a population was time we could regroup.
That must have cost you in the long run.
Yes. Our own people would be indoctrinated, converted, then turned against us. But there was no choice. Mercy is not a weapon. It is a weakness.
Back on Eden Prime, it looked like there were other stasis pods. What happened?
The Empire had fallen, and we knew our cycle was lost. We were the final vanguard, the best soldiers left alive.
So more of you were supposed to survive into this cycle?
Yes. Under my leadership, a new Prothean empire would have arisen. We would have commanded the races of your time to prepare for the next Reaper invasion. But traitors within our ranks, indoctrinated agents, betrayed us, and the Reapers discovered our plan.
Just out of curiosity, how would you have commanded us?
By leaving you no other option. You would have joined our army, or faced the Reapers alone.
We've uncovered quite a few Prothean ruins. Were you observing our ancestors?
Before the war, we cultivated species who showed potential. Eventually, you would have been offered a choice to join the Empire. But when the Reapers attacked, we ceased all study. We hoped they would see you as too primitive to harvest.
Well, thank you. I think. We've never seen a species with this sensory ability you have.
It was common among my people, imparting experience through touch, the chemistry of life. Complicated ideas could be absorbed in seconds.
That sounds very useful.
We evolved as hunters. Reading 1,000 details in our environment ensured our survival.
I'm beginning to understand the beacons a bit more.
Later, we developed technology to harness our ability. Information could be stored in certain objects through touch. Memory has its own biomarker, its own chemistry, as do knowledge and skills. The beacons could remember these things.
Things like Reaper invasions.
Yes, I can still sense the turmoil in you, witnessing the extinction of our empire. The fabric of your being was forever marked that day.
So could you read something about this room?
There was liquid, a form of incubation. The DNA of a Krogan who lived here. He was powerful, prone to violence.
I'm impressed. His name was Grunt.
And if he were my enemy, I would have given him a wide berth. There is great strength in his genes.
Liara here would never forgive me if I didn't ask you. What was Prothean civilization like?
Yes, I've always wondered, what sort of government did you have, and can you tell me about your religious beliefs, or perhaps...
You're dead now. What does it matter?
I'm sorry. Studying your history has been a lifelong passion of mine.
When I was born, our empire was already at war with the Reapers. The first thing I remember was seeing my planet on fire.
What was your civilization like before the Reaper attack?
We were the dominant race of our cycle. We ruled the galaxy.
My studies indicated you were the only race engaged in space travel at the time. I always found that curious.
We were one empire composed of many subjects. All eventually called themselves Prothean.
What if they didn't want to?
They weren't given a choice.
Are you saying you enslaved the other species?
Any could oppose us if they wished. And if they had won, they would have ruled. Many tried. None succeeded.
I had no idea Protheans were so... severe.
It was by necessity. Very early we encountered the dangers posed by machine intelligence. They rebelled against us.
We've had the same problem. They're called Geth.
We could not allow the machines to surpass us. It was decided the only way to win was to unite all organic life within our empire.
Did it work?
For a time. The Metacon War. We were turning the tide. Until the Reapers arrived. Then we understood machines had surpassed us long ago, in ways we could never imagine.
Thank you for talking with me. I never imagined actually meeting a Prothean.
This has been amusing.
Oh?
To discover the most primitive races of my time now rule the galaxy. The Asari, the humans, the Turians.
There's also the Solarians.
The lizard people evolved.
I believe they're amphibian.
They used to eat flies. Commander, you may count on me. I am known as Javik.
Then welcome aboard the Normandy, Javik.
So much has been lost. So much has changed. And yet the Reapers are still here. For me, it was only yesterday. Our empire spanned the galaxy. Now we are only a myth. I still have much to learn about this cycle.
Have you seen our newest crew member?
You mean the biggest story in 50,000 years that I can in no way talk about?
So you have seen him. Just wondering.
Cerberus stealthily strikes Star System shield. No, glad I read that one out loud.
Everything okay with the shuttle?
Just double checking the inertia dampener coils. Can be twitchy in these UT-47s. But don't worry, this bird's been rock solid.
I always see you down here working your ass off. Ever take any downtime?
I get my sleep, Commander. Flying tired is nearly worse than flying drunk.
What about your waking hours? Any R&R?
I need to keep myself busy. Otherwise, well, too much time to think.
I appreciate your dedication, but I don't want to see you burn out.
I know my limits. I wouldn't take a chance with your life.
So before this war, You must have done something to relax.
Sure. I remember back when the Hawking was based out of Arcturus and I was just a fighter jock. There was this observation deck overlooking the main flight paths. You could watch every ship taxi in and out. When I was alone, I'd turn off the auditory emulators and just watch them drift by in silence.
You know, the reviews like that on the Citadel. Next time we're there, you should take some shore leave. Clear your head.
I don't know. Maybe.
Take some time off on the Citadel, Steve. As a favor to me.
I find it very hard to say no to you, Shepard.
As it should be.
Sir.
I still can't believe it. A real live Prothean. Doc must be over the moon.
You could say that.
I hear the guy's not all there. Exactly. Damn. I can't imagine. Brought forward 50,000 years. Last of your kind. That's bound to screw with your mind.
Yeah.
Well, here's hoping he can help us with the Reapers. I'll bet the elusive man's boiling in his brandy right about now. Took that Prothean right out from under him. Ready when you are.
Thank you for the data packet. The results are available on the Information Network terminal.
The things this Prothean must have seen, if they had the technology to preserve someone for over 50,000 years, no wonder they were capable of building things like the device on Mars. I must give him time to get his bearings, but Goddess, what will we get another chance to learn so much? When will we get another chance to learn so much about their civilization?
A Prothean. A living, breathing Prothean right below me.
He's not what I expected.
Me neither. He was a little cold when I tried to talk. I understand the shock of waking up again. His species gone. But a Prothean, Shepard. There's so much he could tell us. Ready for the next mission?
Seen a lot of crazy things in my time on the Normandy, Shepard. A talking Reaper, a talking plant, and now a real live talking Prothean. Hell of a thing, waking up to find everything you know is destroyed. But I imagine the chance to get some payback is consolation. Doubt you and I'll ever get a second chance against the Reapers. What do you suppose the Prothean eats? What if it's boiled asari with a side of fried Turian? I don't know about Liara, but I'm not taking that one for the team. If this war goes south, maybe we could freeze you for 50,000 years, Shepard. You could go from being merely famous to legendary. Another time, maybe.
I already am legendary, thank you very much.
Commander, you've got a new message at your private terminal.
Alliance officials confirmed local resistance movement successfully pushed Cerberus forces off Eden Prime. Cerberus attacked Eden Prime for reasons that remain unclear, and set up facilities to occupy the colony. But after constant attacks on the United and Populace, Cerberus troops retreated. Alliance officials are sending in evacuation transports now to get the colonists off-world before Reaper forces reach the colony. We owe this victory to the Alliance, resistant leader Edward Crabb said in his prepared statement. The people of Eden Prime have always been ready to fight, but the Alliance intel gave us the tools we needed to push those Cerberus bastards off our planet. Many resistance fighters have said that they plan to enlist to support the Alliance.
Those poor colonists on Eden Prime. First the Geth attack, now Cerberus. For what it's worth, our new crew member doesn't need a translator himself. But he shared a Prothean language tutorial program. It was apparently designed for servant races being inducted into the Empire. Charming cultural clue. Commander?
So a Prothean? A real live Prothean? Has Liara stopped bouncing yet? I'm guessing there may have been some bouncing.
Commander?
How's our new visitor adjusting to the ship, Edie?
He appears not to understand the human custom of separate-sex restroom facilities. I am attempting to enlighten him. I will update you if there is positive progress.
How about you just update me if he doesn't get the message?
Very well. Hello, Shepard.
Okay, that'll be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I shall be back soon.